Hello friend, Jim here with JBsBigAdventure coming to you from Lake Chapala, Mexico. And the last video I just put out had everything to do with expats actually being deported. And I got a ton of responses. I got a bunch of emails. I just want to say thank you for the support. But even more than that, just for everybody's comments that they brought in of what this world is in right now and the confusion and such. And so I actually came across a video that it was like happenstance. And it turns out here's someone, American citizen, that got deported. So this was actually a TikTok, and there was actually 2 little short videos. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play those for you right now. But I just want to make sure to let you know, this is not being done to try to scare anybody. The whole idea is when you want to be legal in Mexico, there are certain ways and certain steps you have to go through to be able to do that. If you're having a challenge of trying to get qualified, of trying to get your temporal visa, and you're having issues, you can either reach out to me at my email, and I can give you the name and number of a really good immigration attorney that she's been in business for over 30 years, so lots of experience. She's very bilingual. And so if that's your case, feel free to reach out to me and email me and just put on there that you've got questions. Other than that, it's our responsibility as we're coming into Mexico that we make sure that we are here legally. And what's going to happen is when you get to the airport, they're going to stamp your passport. So you want to make sure that that passport is stamped. And you also want to make sure, too, that they're writing in the number of days that you're going to be here. Now, you're not giving them a slip. They're going to be giving you a slip. It's called an FMM card, and it's digital, so it's an FMMD. And they would even let you know on there the number of days that you've got. So it's our responsibility to know if we are not already visa holders and residents of Mexico, whether a temporal or permanente, this is what you got to make sure that you do when you come to immigration. So let me just share this real quick video with you. Here's what you do not want to do. Let's take a look at this real quick video.
So this is what happens when you get caught in Mexico. How did they even find me in the first place? I was coming back from a concert in a bus stop at a toll booth. Some guy came in asking for ID. I showed him my California ID, but I didn't have my passport. Next thing I knew, I was in a van. I got to the immigration office. They patted me down, took away all my belongings. They looked me up and they saw that I overstayed my 180-day tourist visa. Long story short, they didn't let me leave the immigration office until I bought my ticket to go back to the USA, which is crazy because I already have my dual citizenship in process, but it's not complete yet. That could be why it didn't show up in the system. The closest flight I could get had multiple stops. Before I went to LA, I stopped at Monterrey. I thought it was gonna be a smooth process going back to the United States, but then this happened. I didn't get my little paper stamp that they give you when you enter the country, so I ended up missing my flight. And anyone that overstays their 180 days, you have to pay a fee of 717 pesos, which is $35. But since I'm being kicked out of the country, I didn't have to pay that fee. They got me another multiple stop flight. So it took me 2 more flights before I got back to the United States. Yes. And once I saw the Edgar cuts and the LA outfit, I landed back to the motherland. They told me I shouldn't come back. Guess who's returning back to Mexico? After being deported, I got home and looked up flight tickets. This time I'm taking the bus to the Tijuana airport. For those that don't know, I got deported because I overstayed my 180-day visa. I usually come back and forth from Mexico to the United States, but this time I didn't because I went to go get my dual citizenship. And the guy told me in 15 days he's gonna call me, and that this process is only gonna take about a month, and by Christmas I should be celebrating my new citizenship in Mexico. But to my surprise, once I was in the immigration office, nothing like that showed up in my record. So I had no choice but to leave the country. I asked her, am I getting deported? She said no, because you're not a criminal, but you can't stay here any longer in Mexico, but you have to buy your own flight tickets because we won't pay it. I don't know about y'all, but that sounds a lot like deportation. They just didn't want to pay for it. But I'm not even mad at it. All countries should have immigration laws. That's just how countries work. I'm grateful it happened to me so I can show you guys what it's like to be deported as an American and warn you about this so this doesn't happen to you. But if this does happen to you, getting back in was easy. They just ask you where you're going and why, and that's just how I skedaddled my way back in, like if it never happened. And just like that, I'm back in Mexico.